so interior, I have seats came out of a 2010 Dodge. Flip up center console. I thought that was a must. If anybody knows much about these interiors, these crew cabs didn't come with any interior at all. I mean, aside from seats, they didn't have headliners. They didn't have a lot of this B-pillar trim, any of that trim. They were pretty, you know, bare. So headliner is all custom. The front half of the headliner is out of a crew cab. The rear half of the headliner is out of just a regular cab. The rear seats are out of the same 2010 Dodge. They fold up. Oh, sorry. Function fully. They're nice and comfortable going down the road. These things are night and day difference from what they came with. There's a bench in the front and back of this when I got it. So there are JL Audio 6x9s in the rear, C2 speakers. And then there are some JL Audio XR component speakers in the front. And then the truck originally came with one speaker in the dash. That was the whole radio. I put two little 4-inch JL speakers up in that JL XR, I believe. Anyway, so to kind of maintain a stereo and bring the sound stage up off the floor a little bit. It does have a touchscreen radio with backup camera. This is normally where the information center is on these trucks. It gives you the wait to start light, water and fuel light, those types of things. There's the plug is still back there. I didn't want any of those lights or need them, so the wait to start does still work. The grid heaters, there's no light for it, so I just watch the voltage gauge when it, you know, it drops when it's on and bumps up when it's off. So that's how I know to wait to start. So yeah, so the heater controls are normally up here. I moved them down there to get the touchscreen up higher, make it more user-friendly, make it easier to operate and run and see. And then this is the backup camera. I didn't show you where it's at. It's up in the tailgate handle. It gives you a really good view of the hitch for looking at trailers, that type of thing. So, okay, so the turbo, the way that it opens and closes, I have two controls for that essentially. This is a knob, push in and pull out. It's also, sorry, it's a button, push in and pull out. It's also a knob. So if you want auto control, you pull out on the knob and the turbo just goes off of the program and is controlled automatically. If you want manual control, you push in on the knob and then you can spin it down and close that turbo down in small increments, so you can hear that's loading the engine up. Works great for starting up on a cold day, warming it up. Biggest reason I did those for the exhaust brake function. What I normally do is I leave the knob in manual mode, turn it all the way down, and then I have a second button on the shifter. And this button, essentially all this does is a quick manual. So whatever position this knob is set to, which I normally leave it in a closed position, this button will go to that position and be your exhaust brake. So that's how that works. This is the ride height controller for the air suspension. It's a Vi-Air. There's two ride height sensors on the rear control arms. There's essentially three positions. When the solid light is lit green, that's your ride height. When you dump it down, that's your lowered height. And it will stay and maintain that position until you bump it up or until you cycle the ignition. back up to ride height, you just give it a tap. This red light is the air compressor. That tells me when the air compressor is running. Essentially, I want that there so that if there's a leak or whatever, and that red light stays on while you're driving, I know, because it's so quiet you can't hear it running, but with that light on, you know the compressor running. And then there's a max, or an extended height. You bump that up, and it's really only an inch or so up that'll go from the right height. So that's the 3 positions, and that's how that works. Super simple. Gauges. I pretty much took every bulb in this truck and replaced with LEDs. The gauges are all pretty simple. We have a 3 gauge glow shift. This is boost on the dial, EGT's on top, and then engine temperature on the bottom. All the factory gauges work, and then that's pretty much it for gauges. I mean, other than that, I did show you the backup camera. I have about a bunch of sound deadening in this truck. I want to say there's about 3 gallons of lizard skin. That's a spray-in ceramic slash sound slash heat deadener. I used a couple boxes of the matte sound deadener, Dyno Matte, and then there's Thinsulate wherever I can fit it to. Along the back wall of the truck is glued carpeted Thinsulate. These door panels, these are custom door panels. Normally, if you're familiar with these trucks, they're kind of an ugly multicolor carpet. I didn't like that, so I pulled those panels off and made those and vinyl wrapped them. So the front doors have power windows, power locks. The rear doors have power locks. I ran wires into the rear doors for power windows, thinking someday I might do that. Just haven't got around to it. There are heated seats. The front 2 seats have high and a low and a off setting for seat heat. Twin stick transfer case on the NP205. This stick controls the rear, low, neutral, high. This controls the front, high, neutral, low. Same thing on the front, high, neutral, low. That just makes it so you can pop it in 2 low pretty quick and not have to worry about turning your front or yeah. So other than that, it's an awesome truck. I'm sad to see it go. Spent a lot of time and money on it. But I'd like to see somebody else enjoy it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Yeah, that's it.